Good evening, dear students. How are you all? I hope that you all are fine. So, firstly, I would like to start my class with my intro, as I know that students are very thirsty to know about their teacher. So, myself, Shretyagi, and I am your math teacher, and I am having an experience of more than 6 years to guide students who are preparing for IIT mains and other state engineering exams. Several number of students are able to crack state engineering exams, and they are now uh, studying in very good engineering institute. So, first of all, I would like to tell you that in today's class we will discuss and study about the chapter which is complex number. And believe me, the name of the chapter is complex, but it is very easy chapter. And after understanding the basic concept of this chapter, you will feel felicitate. So here I am writing the name of the chapter, which is complex number. So the question arises in your mind as when I was studying in 11th class, the same question arises in my mind. What is the need to study complex number? So Euler was the mathematician who feel that and who saw that to find the solution of such equation who have no solution in real number. So these equation I am writing on the board. These are equations x square plus 1 equal to 0, x square plus 2 equal to 0, x square plus 3 equal to 0. These are equations which have no solution in real number. So Euler was the mathematician who introduced the concept to solve these type of equation. He assigned the value of variable x equal to minus root 1, and we say that this is I, and you also said that iota. This is imaginary number. This is imaginary number. So Euler was the mathematician who suggested that to solve these type of equation, to find the solution of these equation, we have to put the value of x equal to minus root 1, and its values we say that this is equal to imaginary number. If I will square, if I will square it both side, then I square equal to minus 1. So I equal to minus root 1, I square equal to minus 1. If I again multiply both side by I, multiply both side by I, then you will get I cube equal to minus I. So now you are getting my point that what is the value of I? Minus root 1. What is the value of I square? Minus 1. What is the value of I cube? Minus 1. Minus I. So again multiply I, again multiply with I, again multiply with I both sides. So you will get I to the power 4, or you can say I raised to the power 4 equal to minus I square, and I have already told you what is the value of I square, minus 1. So this is the minus, and I am putting the value of I square, it is minus 1. So you will get the value of I raised to the power 4 equal to 1. So you will get these points that I is imaginary number, which is introduced by the Euler. Euler was the mathematician to solve these equation, to find the solution of these equation. So what is the value of I? Root minus 1. What is the value of I square? Minus 1. What is the value of I cube? Minus I. What is the value of I raised to the power 4? 1. So these are the basic concept of the complex number. And believe me, the chapter is complex, but the if you understand the basic concept of this chapter, then you will realize that it is very easy chapter. So from getting the value of I, if I put here value of x equal to, if I put here x equal to I, then I will get I square plus 1, then I square what is minus 1 plus 1 equal to 0, and I have found the solution of this equation. What is the solution of this equation? I. Similarly, I can find the solution of this equation. What is the solution of this equation? X equal to under root 2I. X equal to under root 2I. What is the solution of this equation? X equal to under root 3I. So basic need of complex number is to solve these type of equation which have no solution in real number. Now we will do some more questions which are based on this concept. The basic concept you have to study about, that value of I is root minus 1, value of I square is minus 1, value of I cube is minus I, and I raised to the power 4 equal to 1. Now we will do some more questions based on the complex number. Basic question we will try. So I am writing here solve solve I raised to the power minus 39. Solve I raised to the power minus 39. As you all know that from your 6th and 7th standard, if base have power negative, then you will do reciprocal to make it power positive. So firstly I will make the power positive by making the base reciprocal. By doing the reciprocal of the base. Then I will break this power, as I know that value of I equal to minus root 1, you have to write these things number of times, because by writing the things you can memorize it for doing numericals. What is the value of I square? Minus 1. What is the value of I cube? Minus I. So number of times you have to write the value of I square, I cube, and I raised to the power 4. And in any subject you have to memorize the things not by learning, you have to memorize the things by writing many times. If you have that ability to write the things on your register, on your copy many times, then you can able to do anything. So what is the value of, we have to find the value, we have to solve I raised to the power minus 39. First of all, I have to do reciprocal to make the power positive. Now I have to break the power. 4 9 ja 36 plus 3. Now I will write this into this form, and if I has power in the multiple of 4, then you directly write as 1 dot I cube. As you all know that dot means multiply. Dot means multiply. What is the value of I cube? Minus I. And you all know that I is just like a negative irrational number. So you have to now rationalize it. In ninth standard, you have know that you have studied that we have to rationalize the things if there is irrational number in the denominator. So what is here? I minus I square, I square equal to minus 1. So what is the value of I raised to the power minus 39? It is I. So I raised to the power minus 39 equal to I. So I write here I raised to the power minus 39 equal to I. So basically we denote complex number by Z. We denote, so this is the basic numerical. You have to solve these numerical like in this way. So I am writing, so from what uh, What is the denotation of the complex number? We denote we denote complex number. We denote complex number by Z. We denote complex number by Z. And Z and standard form of complex number, what is? Standard form of complex number is Z equal to x plus iy. Z equal to x plus iy. If I have to represent this complex number in argand plane, representation of complex number in argand plane, representation of complex number. So it is real part, it is real part, it is imaginary part. So complex number is a combination of real part and imaginary part. So real part we show on x-axis and imaginary part we will show on y-axis. So if I have to show this complex number in argand plane, as you all know what is the plane? A plane is a space, yeah, a plane is a space on which we can able to draw a line. It is called plane. It is 2D plane. So this is, consider it is x, consider it is y. So if I have to represent this complex number on argand plane, this is x comma y. So it is complex number, and the distance of complex number from origin gives its magnitude. Distance of the complex number from origin give its magnitude. So what is the magnitude of complex number? Magnitude means the length of the distance of complex number where I have represent in argand plane from origin. So magnitude of complex number is equal to modulus z, and which is equal to under root real part is coefficient of real part square and square of coefficient of imaginary part. This is the magnitude of complex number. So student, again I am explaining, we denote complex number by Z. Complex number is the combination of real part and imaginary part. If we want to represent complex number in argand plane, then we represent real part on x-axis, imaginary part on y-axis, and the distance of the coordinates where I will represent a complex number, its distance from origin gives you magnitude. And how we calculate magnitude? Magnitude means length of the coordinates of the complex number from origin. So what is the magnitude? Magnitude is coefficient square of under root. Firstly, you have to take under root, then square of real part plus square of imaginary part. So this is the basic concept. Now I am writing more properties of complex number. So student, I am writing more properties of the complex number. So properties of complex number. Complex number. So you denote complex number by Z, x plus iy. You understand? So I am telling you the properties of complex number. We denote complex number by Z, and Z equal to x plus iy. X is real part and y is imaginary part. You already know how to take the magnitude of complex number. First you have to take under root, then you have to take the square of real part, then you have to take the square of coefficient of imaginary part. Next, conjugate of complex number. Conjugate of complex number. It means z equal to x plus iy. It is the standard form of complex number. If you want to change the sign of I, if you if you change the sign of I, then it becomes the conjugate of complex number. If you have changed the sign of I, then it will become the conjugate of complex number, and we represent the conjugate of complex number by taking bar on the head of z. Next property, if you multiply conjugate and standard form of complex number, if you multiply complex number with its conjugate, then you will get modulus square. Next property, multiplicative inverse of complex number. Multiplicative inverse of complex number. Multiplicative inverse of complex number. It is z inverse equal to conjugate upon modulus z square. Conjugate of multiplicative inverse of complex number is conjugate of complex number upon modulus of z square. These are the basic properties of the complex number. So now we will do some more questions which are based on complex number. So now we will do more questions based on complex number. Basic question it is, find least positive value of n if 1 plus I upon 1 minus I raised to the power n equals to 1. How will you do this question? Tell me. How will you do this question? So first of all, one thing is coming in your mind that, sir, if in denominator there is I, we have to rationalize it. Firstly, we have to rationalize it. So rationalize it firstly. 1 plus I upon 1 minus I multiply. If you are rationalizing it, then you have to change the sign of denominator. 1 plus I upon 1 plus I. Na? Now, both are same terms. Both gives 1 plus I whole square. Both terms are same, but they have opposite sign. This give you a formula a square minus b square. Now next step, you have to expand this formula. 1 I square plus 2I upon 1 plus 1. Understood? First of all, you have to rationalize the denominator because you all know that I is negative irrational number. Then you have multiply simple, you have apply the formula, you have expand the numerator. Then what is I square? I have already told you minus 1 plus 2I upon 2 gives, you have to find the value of, I forgetted the power, sorry, this is the power raised to the power n. We have to find the least positive value of n. So this will be cut, opposite sign, 2I upon 2 raised to the power n. So now the important step has come. So we have to find the least positive value of n so that your answer come positive. So I will again revising the things. I equal to minus root 1, I square equal to minus 1, I cube equal to minus I raised to the power 4 equal to 1. So we will get the answer, the least positive value of n, so that I raised to the power n equal to 1, it is 4. Understood? The least positive value of n is 4. Okay.